that developed? Because you've been very invested in education, regardless of what it seemed like your life looked like at the time. Where did that originate?
I had a second grade teacher. Her initials were MJ. So we think of Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. We think of Mick Jagger, for you rock and roll fans out there. But Mrs. Johnson really believed in me. She was an African-American teacher. She had this jury curl. I love Mrs. Johnson. Her jury curl juice would drip all over my desk. I sat right next to her. So I love Mrs. Johnson, but she believed in me. She said, Lawrence, no one is going to feel sorry for you just because you're poor, just because you don't have a father. So she really challenged me to believe in myself. And I love education. And a lot of my books I dedicate to educators. I consider myself an educator or teacher even to this day, but they really instilled in me. And I love education. I always excelled. I always did very well. And I really wanted to always go to an Ivy League school, because today, if I was getting recruited in the Big Ten, you know where I'm going? I'm going to Northwestern. Yeah. I'm going, because it doesn't matter where you go now, because of the connections that you get there, and that they can find you. But I love academics. School was very easy to me. I mean, I was an honor roll. I've got 3 degrees. I've taken executive education classes at Stanford and Columbia. That is my domain. I was just a very gifted athlete. But intellectually, I love that aspect. And I wish more kids from the hood, from the ghetto, I consider myself a ghetto-lectual, that they would gravitate and take this, and that you have geniuses, you have greatness inside of you. The Bible says you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul knoweth well. That we have this. The problem is we have such low expectations for our athletes. Michelangelo said the problem for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too low and we reach it. We set such low expectations for our young people, particularly our African-American athletes. I love all people. I love all Asian, African-American, Hispanic, Appalachian. It doesn't matter to me. But when I talk about our African-American community, and we've got to step forward as men, as Black men, to really set the example and show kids the way, and that you can want to be an athlete, you can want to be an entertainer, but you better have your mind in the process. And I think we don't invest in the mental development of our young people, and we're suffering incredibly because of that as a people.